Hey guys, welcome back to Unbiased Magic Reviews. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for spending a few moments of your day with me. Today we are continuing on with my Magic Magazine review series. We're taking a look at the Chronicles by Carl Fulves. And today I'm going to be taking a look at hand-picked effects from Volume 2 through Volume 5. But before we get started, I wanted to mention our winner from our first review. The winner of the issue that I was going to give away, issue number 1 of the Chronicles, and this is going to go to Leonard Miller. You're my winner, selected totally randomly, and if you remember, all you had to do was leave a comment on the first review. So Leonard, if you get in touch with me, you can send me an email to unbiasedmagicreviews@gmail.com. That way I can send you this issue, this copy of the Chronicles. All right, so if you didn't win, don't feel bad because I'm going to be doing a lot more giveaways of different issues of the Chronicles. In fact, on my next review, I'm going to give away another issue to a lucky winner. So stay tuned for that. Now for today, we're going to be taking a look at some hand-picked effects from the Chronicles, issues 2 through 5. I'm going to be doing some demos for you guys. I'm going to be giving you lots of alternative suggestions of other effects you may want to take a look at. So you want to stay tuned for that. And so I've handpicked one effect from each of these Chronicles to go over today. The first one comes from issue number 2, and it was called In Writing. Now, this was a mentalism effect that is very simple, and I really liked it a lot because it's very portable and it got really good reactions. And the way it looked was that you had an envelope, you dumped out 3 coins, and you had a prediction on a card. And you would have the spectator actually make a decision, and they would fill out the prediction on both sides of the card, and then you can show them that they've predicted ahead of time what coin they would choose. Now, the one issue I had with the original version as it is in the Chronicles was I thought it was a little bit transparent because you would set out the coins, and so with a small amount of thought process, you can tweak the effect like the way that I have, where you can allow the spectator to put the coins out in any order that they want. And that's the way that I like to do it. I would tell the spectator to put out the coins and organize them in any way that they want to. That way nothing feels forced, and then you would have them make a decision and they fill out the prediction card. And even under those strict conditions, you've still predicted ahead of time what coin they're going to select. It's really an effect I really liked a lot, and like I said, with a little bit of thought, you can very easily tweak it yourself that way. If you do like how this sounds, some other effects you may want to take a look at is there was an effect that was published in Steve Cook's book called Fake Genius called Foretold, and in that effect, you take out a wallet or an envelope and you have the spectator take out 4 coins, and you predict which coin they select out of the 4 coins. It was called Foretold, and you can find that in Fake Genius. Now, it is interesting because Steve Cook did take the same concept idea and he applied it to poker chips, and that effect is sold as, I think it's called The Gamble, and you can find that on Penguin Magic. I think it's like $30, and it's done with poker chips, but I would recommend, as usual, that you go with the book instead, because you're going to get a lot more for your money, and it's exactly the same effect. The only difference is that you're using coins instead of poker chips, the version that's in the book. In fact, if you are interested in this type of plot, you may be familiar with Steve Cook's effect called Diabolical, and I think that the version that is marketed by Alakazam Magic is called Diabolical version 5. And again, you can buy that as a standalone effect from Alakazam Magic, or if you do pick up Steve Cook's book, Fake Genius, it's also in the book. I think that the actual marketed version is just slightly different than the version that's in the book, but that being said, again, the book is really worth it. And I would also urge you to check out the Chronicles issue 2 just for the version that I'm telling you guys about, which is called In Writing. Moving along to issue number 3, an effect in here that I really like that I would recommend to you guys to take a look at is actually a little packet card trick. It's a very simple trick which is called Factor 4, and I'm going to demo it for you guys. Here's a really simple packet trick. It's called Factor 4. You can find this in issue number 3 of the Chronicles. You're going to spread out a pack and have a spectator touch 4 cards. You can have them look at those 4 cards and you tell them that you want them to just choose one, and the other 3 they'll give them back to you. So 3 of these cards they're not going to keep, but this one they're going to remember. So maybe they'll remember that card right there. And you're going to say, okay, so you don't want these 3 right here. And you say, now what's interesting is that your card, it's not hard to identify because it has little marks on here that you may not be able to see, but I can see. Like for instance, your card is probably a red card, right? Don't tell me, but I'm just getting this sensation it's probably a red card. But you know what? Sometimes it disguises itself and sometimes it can look like a totally different card. In fact, sometimes all of these cards look a lot like different cards. But your card is distinct and it kind of stands out from the other ones. In fact, I think that your card is probably an 8 of hearts. And that's it. That's the effect. It's extremely quick. It's a little simple packet trick and it's very easy to perform. You can find that in issue number 3. All right, moving along to the Chronicles issue number 4. There was an excellent bank night routine in here that I think you'll like a lot, and it was called Reverse Bank Night by George Sands. And what I really liked about it was the principle, because you have 5 envelopes and you can let the spectator put a bill in one of the envelopes, and then you number the envelopes 1 to 5. You can have them mix them all up. You can number them 1 to 5 and you put them out. And then there's a very, very simple process where the spectator is going to select an envelope, and then what ends up happening is that all the other envelopes are destroyed and the one that they selected has the money in it. And that's why it's called Reverse Bank Night, because you destroy all the envelopes except for one, and amazingly that one envelope is the one that has the bill in it. But the whole principle can be expanded and extended to other things. You can just use blank cards and you can have like either ESP symbols written on them or anything that you want to predict. You can make a prediction ahead of time. You can have the cards shuffled up, and then you go through the exact same process of elimination where your spectator is going to end up with 1 card, and of course it matches the prediction. So it's an excellent little effect, and again, it's another piece of mentalism that you might like. So I would highly recommend that you take a look at it. It's something that you're going to use immediately. That's why I recommend it to you. And it's really the principle that you can go in so many different directions with it, which is why I'm recommending that to you guys. And then finally, volume number 5 of the Chronicles, there's actually a coin effect in here that I would urge you guys to take a look at, which is Carl Fulv's Rebound. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Let's take a quick look at it. So here's a quick demo for Carl Fulv's Rebound coin effect, which you can find in the Chronicles issue number 5. You put out a copper and a silver coin, and you're going to use 2 cards to cover them up. You explain that we've got the copper on the left, we've got the silver on the right. Of course, if we switch them like this, where's the silver coin? They may say now that it's on the left side, and you could say, no, actually, look, it's on the right side. The copper is over here on the left. You can ask them if they were watching carefully, and you could say, look, we'll do it one more time. This time maybe a little bit quicker. Where's the silver coin this time? They may get smart and say that it's on the right side, and then you could say, yes, it is on the right side. So if it's on the right side, where's the copper coin? They may say over here on the left, and you could say, no, actually, it's with the silver coin. And that's it. It's a really quick little effect. All right, so you guys took a look at Rebound, and if you like that, then I would highly urge you to try to hunt down this book by Tom Gagnon, which is called Too Hot for the Devil. And amazingly, it's not boxed up in one of my boxes, because I have so many magic books that are in boxes, but this is a book that I've gone back to so many times that it's one of those books that I keep on my bookshelf. It's actually not in a box. And in the back of the book, there's actually a copper silver routine, which is called Radical Rebound. And this is what I would really refer you to check out. And for a couple of different reasons. One reason here that I'm mentioning is because here Tom Gagnon is taking the Carl Fulves idea from Rebound. At least this was inspired by it, but taking it in a whole nother direction. And there is like a switch in here which is pure gold, which is why I'm recommending you guys to take a look at this, which is called the Retroflex switch. And the reason, even if you don't like the copper silver routine that Tom Gagnon goes over in there, which is really, it's an excellent routine. It's very easy to perform, and it's very visual. But even if you're not into that, that Retroflex switch is diabolical. And the reason is because it looks like all you're doing is flicking a coin with a card, and it instantly visually changes from copper to silver. And so it's one of those, it's a kind of like a move that in print may not really make sense, but once you practice it and you kind of like mess around with it, you figure it out. And it's an excellent, it's like one of those hidden coin moves that hasn't been exploited really well yet, which is why I'm mentioning it to you guys, because I absolutely love it. And I don't think a lot of people have really paid attention to it, which is why I'm mentioning it to you guys, because it's an excellent way of doing a visual coin change right under the nose of the spectator, and they will never be any wiser. So if you do like matrix type like effects, then you definitely should take a look at it. And if you like copper silver type routines, again, it's another reason why you should check out this effect, which again, it's called Radical Rebound, and you can find it on 192 here of Tom Gagnon's book. Anyway, that's what I wanted to go over today with you guys. And as usual, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them for me below. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope that you've gotten something out of today's review. I hope that some of this has piqued your interest. And thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. I'll see you on the next review.